So let's talk a little bit about why local SEO, because again, I have gone back and forth on local over the years. The Blueprint's been in business for 7 years. And I specifically remember in one of the first trainings I did being like, don't focus on local SEO, like coffee shops will never be able to pay you. And I still stand by that. But what's happened over the years is Google has dramatically changed how they're showing the local maps pack, how they're vetting businesses in the maps pack, really stripping down the amount of businesses that can be in there. When there's less businesses in there, it means faster time to results and really quicker. And also users. One of the pitches that I make when I'm on the phone with law firms is I'm like, if you type in your keyword right now and put yourself in the shoes of a customer, what would you click on? And they're always like, I always use a maps pack. If you have a contractor that you need help with, if you need anything that's local services, you're pretty much using the maps pack. So data shows that users prefer the maps pack over the traditional SEO listings. And we're going to dive more into that as well. So our data from attorney clients also shows that over 80% of leads come from the maps pack. So we use agency analytics to track leads every single month. We have leads dashboard, very impactful. On that dashboard, it shows the number of phone calls and where they're coming from. 80% of all of our clients' phone calls are coming from the maps results. If we can get them into the top 3, they are printing money. For some of our larger market clients, Miami, South Florida, California, 50 to 100 phone calls per month from the maps pack. If they're paying for those leads elsewhere, if you go to a lead broker and try and pay for a lead, they're usually charging you like $15,000. So imagine if they're getting 100 phone calls a month, that's $200,000 worth of leads that they're getting into their business. So incredibly impactful when it comes to the results, the outcomes of this. And when we crosswalk that against what's happening with Google search, so if we type in Miami personal injury lawyer, let's take a look at what's happening here. So at the top, we've got our local service ads, which, oh, by the way, these are also tied to a Google business profile. So this is a local product. We're not going to get into LSAs today. They're very hit or miss right now, but it just tells you the prominence of this. Google wants to push this product up here. And then what do we see right here? Of course, the local maps pack. So this will change if you're mobile, depending on where you are, depending on what you're searching for. Again, we work with law firms, guys. So I know a lot of you guys do contractors or different types of local verticals. It's all applicable. I'm going to mainly talk about law firms because that's what comes top of mind, but I will answer any questions that you have about transferring this over to different verticals. Then we get people also ask, and then all the way down here, we've got the kind of organic results. Now, normally too, let's see if we can get this Miami car. Or no, let's do Miami HVAC. Let's see who comes up here. Okay. So this is a bit more of a traditional result. Again, LSAs on top, then our pay-per-click ads. We usually see 4 here in the personal injury space. And then the maps pack again, as you can see. And then, so think about this as from the point of view as a consumer. And this is exactly what Google wants. This is why, this was my biggest moment when it comes to local SEO and the power of it. Number one, Google wants to squeeze out SEOs, man. They just do. They know that these results down here are mainly BS. That's Google's opinion also, I think, on just SEOs in general, but also based on user data. So user data shows that most clicks are coming to these places. That's why they're so high. And of course, the ads are always going to be on top. It is what it is. But if you think about how far a user has to scroll, 1, 2, 3 to get down here, 3 scrolls is a lot. Not to mention they're scrolling past reviews, they're scrolling past pictures, they're scrolling past the map. It's fast, it's easy, click to call, directions. This very rarely people get past this, and that's why it's so impactful. And then even more, you scroll down, you see what else the results down here are littered with. Angie's List, Today's Homeowner, Yelp, BBB. I would say less than half of these results are actual websites. So not only is this result pushed down to the bottom, and you have to scroll very far to get to it, and of course these all look the same too. As a user, you're like, I don't want to go to a website and click around pages, blah, blah. This is perfect. This is why this does so well. But it's also littered with all these authority websites. Now we have this thing with Reddit popping up, using SGE. And of course, this is still in testing. It's not the same. What you'll also notice here is that the maps pack is in SGE. What does that tell us, guys? That tells us that this is protected real estate. That tells us that this is a product that even if Google moves to full SGE, the maps pack is still going to be here. So what does that tell you? One, SGE stands for Google's AI search, search engine, if you will. It's still in development. It was supposed to roll out. It may or may not ever roll out. But the point is that it doesn't have to roll out for us to know how Google feels about the local maps pack because it's inside of SGE. It's inside there, which tells it this is protected. So it's protected. This real estate is not going anywhere, which means for you as an agency, do you want to invest your time and effort into something that was going to be moated in Google's business model in the future? It's going to be there. Or do you want to invest your time and effort into something that continuously gets pushed down to the bottom and also gets littered with other types of results? Reddit, Angie's List, Yelp, whatever vertical that you're in, those sites are in there. So the real estate that you're competing against is very small. And on top of that, Google's cracked down on how you can actually get in here. So you now, especially in the legal space, right? You have to have a verified commercial office space. You have to be able to take a video of the space. So what that means is that Anybody can create a practice area page or a service page target. And this is a very common SEO strategy that we'll talk about. And it doesn't work anymore. I don't care what people say, it doesn't work anymore. You might be able to rank, but you're not going to get leads and phone calls. And guys, keep in mind, clients are paying you for leads and phone calls. They're not paying you for traffic. They're not paying you for keyword rankings. They're paying you for leads. So if you're optimizing to build practice area pages or service pages to rank in those blue links at the bottom, there's a reason why it's not working. There's a reason why your clients are like, hey, great, I see the impressions going up, but where are my phone calls? Because that's ultimately what you're paying for. So this, just optimizing for local, is going to allow you to jump that. It's going to allow you to bypass all that crap at the bottom. Also, there's much less competition there because you have to be verified. You have to be validated to get into the Maps pack. So we're talking about in very competitive spaces, plastic surgery, legal, professional services, home services, contractors, very competitive spaces with very lucrative client acquisition on the back end. My clients are worth $50,000 or more sometimes. If you work with a plastic surgeon, it's probably a minimum of $5,000 to $10,000. If you work with any home services business, a roofer, my God, we have a roofing client who charges a minimum of 50, and this guy is printing money off of the Maps pack and his LSAs. So because the value of their clients are so high and you're getting them clients, what does that mean for you? It means you can charge more. We get asked all the time. Somebody actually canceled their membership today because they're like, it doesn't have anything about pricing. I'm like, you don't need pricing information. What do you need to know about pricing? You should be pricing based on how much you make your clients. So us, for example, I know that if I can rank my clients in this Maps pack, they're going to get a minimum of 50 phone calls per month. I know what their value is. So for me to charge them $10,000 a month is nothing. It's nothing to them because they're making so much off the top of it. And the profit on that, because the level of the service effort is very low. So it's protected. It's not going anywhere. It's a product that Google loves. It's a product that Searcher loves, and it has far more impact. And again, because you have to get verified to get in here, anybody can create a practice area page and try and compete with those doorway pages. I see it all the time. Create 50 different practice area pages or service pages, creating all these different zip codes for what? So you can sit at the bottom with all the rest of the garbage. This is where the money is. So somebody asked, what is local SEO? So it's very simple. If important keywords for your clients contain local search modifiers. So if somebody is using a local search modifier, AKA a location, when they're trying to find your business, then local SEO should be a big part of your service. So what I mean by that is if you're a software company, nobody's typing in Miami accounting software. But if you're a gym, a coffee shop, if you have a physical business, or if you operate in a certain area, home services, professional services, accountants, lawyers, tax people, all that, the local SEO should not only be a big part, but pretty much the core part of what we're doing here. So again, local lead generation businesses, this is by far the most impactful thing you can do for the business. Especially in the legal space, med spas, stuff like that, I would just invest in local SEO because it's fast, it's easy, it's not as expensive, and it drives the most results.